Hi, I'm Liz Murphy with Pico, and we are thrilled to be sponsoring Go Forth and Learn. It's part of the Wawa Welcome America Festival. At Pico, we know that learning never stops, so we put our energy into learning and exploring with you all week long in the comfort and safety of your home. Please enjoy and thank you.
Truth be told, Mr. Adams, I'm beginning to wish that Congress had never even burthened me with the writing of this document. For the last 2 days now, they have been tearing my draft asunder.
But the truth be told, Mr. Jefferson, I seem to recall you coming to me and saying that I should draft the Declaration. Is this not so? And I said to you that you should write it because, my dear young sir, I've always placed considerable value upon your literary talents. In truth, you write 10 times better than I.
Yes. Go on.
And you are a Virginian, and a Virginian ought to have been at the head of this matter, being the largest of the southern colonies. And you know that I am heartily disliked by certain members of this Congress. I'm considered by some, for some reason, to be obnoxious.
Oh, come now, Mr. Adams, you protest too much. Right? Many of my original thoughts have been excised from the document.
What did you expect? You were surrounded by lawyers.
Well, I received precious little advice from the committee.
Oh, I beg to differ with that.
Unkind, Thomas, most unkind. Now you must have forgotten. Forgetfulness, sir, is the province of the aged, not the young. I must have dropped off to sleep in the next room, but I did overhear your remarks, Mr. Jefferson, particularly about not receiving advice from the committee. I must admit that's made me a bit peevish.
My apologies, Dr. Franklin.
Now, when you completed your draft of the document, you sent it to me.
But it's true, I did.
And when it was returned to you, what did you find?
Well, to begin with, you altered one of the sentences in the preamble.
And what was that?
But my version read, "We hold these truths to be sacred and undeniable." You struck out part of that.
A small change, but I do believe important.
Yes, pray tell. Why so important?
And you changed it to, "We hold these truths to be self-evident."
Yes.
Well, I'm a scientist. My mind is bent in that manner. I believe the search for self-evident truth is in the nature of man. Your inclusion of the word sacred seemed to indicate that these rights of man have somehow sprung full-blown from the teachings and assertions of religion. Well, now, I do believe that the Creator has endowed us with these rights, but they are self-evident by reason of rationality, not some mystical source. These rights, not unlike the nature of lightning or the storm, must be discovered. Thus, they become self-evident.
There you are.
Well, I thank you, Dr. Franklin, for your tuition. However, I am not insensible to these further mutilations.
Come, no need to be distressed. I only made a few other small edits, just to make the thing a little bit briefer. But if you will, a bit of advice. Now, as a printer, I've given this advice to many a young author. When I was a young printer, I had a friend who wished to go into the hat-making business, and he designed a sign to hang above the door to his shop. On the sign, he had written, "John Thompson, hatter, makes and sells hats for ready money." Beneath that, he had drawn the likeness of a gentleman's hat. Well, he thought he should get the advice of his friends. The first friend said, "Well, John Hatter, followed by makes and sells hats, is redundant." The next friend said, "Makes hats, all hats are made, no one cares who makes your hats." The third friend said, "For ready money, well, it's never been your custom to sell on credit, now has it?" Well, that sign would then read, "John Thompson sells hats." "Sells hats," said another friend. "Why, who'd expect you to just give them away?" That sign finally read simply, "John Thompson," with just that image of a hat subjoined.
Yes, well, very sage wisdom indeed, Franklin, and I... Oh, good heavens. It would appear we are not alone in this room. We have had some rather unique visitors in hearing our secret conversations.
Oh, dear.
They know about the Declaration before it has been released.
Well, I understand that's very disturbing, John, but perhaps there's an answer to that. Why don't you simply swear them to an oath of secrecy? Oh, come on, you're good at swearing.
Oh, very well. Good people, please raise your hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do hereby swear or affirm as appropriate that as a loyal patriot, pledged to liberty and freedom from the tyranny of the King of England, I will therefore keep secret the affairs overheard this night.
Satisfied, John?
Am I ever?
Mr. Jefferson, now that our friends have been sworn to our cause, perhaps you could read to them from our declaration.
Oh, it would be my honor, Dr. Franklin. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with a certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. How shall we secure these rights? No matter what the form of government, the people must have the right to alter or to abolish unjust government. After all, governments govern justly only when they do so by the consent of the people. And yet, we cannot change our governments without careful consideration, can we? So, I submit to you that the history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and insults, spiked with absolute tyranny. And to prove this, we are submitting our facts to a candid world. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by the authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states.
Hear, hear.
That they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is, and ought to be, totally dissolved. And that, as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may have right to do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Hear, hear. Well said, Mr. Jefferson.
Well said, sir. Well, gentlemen, my head is growing ever wearier. At my age, I should be in slumber. I bid you all adieu, and good night.
Good night, Mr. Franklin. Yes, I suppose we should make our way to the printers. Yes, they shall long be celebrating the Day of Independence, July the 2nd.